my question is about my relationship with my older brothers, who I got along with fairly well until about a year and a half ago when my parents got sick. And then I started doing most of the work, taking care of my parents. And about 6 months ago, my father died. And soon after that, I found myself uh, like really angry with my brothers. And though I try to let this go, and I've had some success at letting the anger go, but then it comes back again. And I really like a little bit of peace around this issue. And I understand they're different people than I am, but it's very hard for me to feel at peace with them right now.
네. 자식이 부모를 돌보는 것은 좋은 일입니다.
It is a good thing that you did in taking care of your elderly parents.
그러나 자식이 부모를 돌보는 것은 이 자연 생태계적 입장에서 볼 때는 의무사항은 아닙니다.
But from a natural kind of nature perspective, it's not a mandatory duty of the children, of the offspring to take care of the elderly parents.
근데 자식이 부모를 돌보는 거를 의무사항이라고 생각하기 때문에 나는 의무를 다하는데 오빠는 의무를 다하지 않는다. 이런 것 때문에 약간 화가 나는 거예요.
But we have been usually conditioned to think that it is our duty to take care of our elderly and aging parents. So if we have that criteria, we tend to think that I have fulfilled my duty. Why don't you?
우리가 다른 사람을 해치는 나쁜 일은 금기, 그건 하면 안 된다는 금기사항에 속합니다.
So there are those activities that are prohibited in our ethics, and those are the activities that actually hurt others.
그러나 남을 돕는 일은 그렇게 하면 좋다 하는 그래서 그 사람이 하든지 안 하든지 우리가 권유하는 사항, 그래서 즉 선택 사항에 들어갑니다.
But those activities that actually help others, those are recommended activities. They're not mandated.
그러니까 부모가 자식을 돌보는 것은 어린 자식을 돌보는 것은 자연 생태계로 볼 때도 그것은 의무 사항에 들어갑니다.
So parents taking care of their young who are helpless at that time is a mandated duty of a parent. Just if we use the nature as our baseline.
왜냐하면 개도 강아지를 고양이도 자기 새끼를 돌보는 것은 이것은 생태적으로 의미가 해야 할 일이다. 부모가 해야 할 일이다는 거죠.
So from an instinctive, biological, and ecosystem perspective, parents taking care of their young is something that we do.
그러나 자연 생태계에서 새끼가 자라서 성인이 되면 부모든 자식이든 이제는 별개의 각각의 존재가 됩니다.
But from following along that line, from a nature ecosystem perspective, once the offspring grows up and becomes an independent adult, then you each become different individuals with different agencies, and you go on your separate ways.
그래서 이제 어미가 늙었다고 해서 새끼가 부모를 돌보는 것은 자연 현상에서는 없습니다.
So that means that in nature, we don't often see offspring coming back to take care of their parents just because they have aged.
그러니까 각자 성인은 자기 생을 자기가 책임져야 합니다.
In that sense, every adult individual is responsible for their own lives.
근데 사람은 이렇게 부모를 돌보거나 또는 어려운 다른 사람을 돌볼 때가 있습니다.
But however, in human beings, we see ourselves helping our elderly and weakening parents or helping others who are actually lesser well off than we are.
그래서 다른 동물들이 하지 않는 일을 인간이 하기 때문에 이것을 좋은 일, 선한 일이라고 말합니다.
So we engage in these activities that other animals or nature does not often exhibit, and we call these actions to help others a good thing.
그래서 이것은 사람들에게 권유하고 있습니다.
And these good things, these good behaviors, we recommend them upon others to do.
그래서 이 권유는 하지만 이것은 선택 사항입니다.
But we recommend them to do, but it's up to their choice to actually engage in those good actions or not.
그러니까 어려운 이웃을 돌보거나 부모를 돌보는 것은 하면 좋은 일, 선한 일이라고 칭찬받지만 하지 않았다고 나쁘다고 말해서는 안 됩니다.
So helping parents, elderly parents, or helping your neighbors who are in trouble, helping them out is a good thing, and you should be praised for that. But just because you don't engage in those activities or actions, you shouldn't be criticized.
지금 질문자는 늙은 부모를, 병든 부모를 돌보는 좋은 일을 지금 하고 있고요. 오빠는 그런 일을 별로 하고 싶지 않는 거예요.
So you have engaged in this good behavior that should be commended and praised by others in taking care of your elderly parents as they weakened. But your brother does not want to engage in this good behavior.
그렇기 때문에 자기는 좋은 일을 하는 사람이라면 오빠는 나쁜 사람이 아니라 좋은 일을 하지 않는 사람이다. 이렇게 볼 수 있습니다.
So in that sense, you can judge yourself as somebody who engages in good actions or good behaviors. But that doesn't mean your brother is somebody who engages in bad behavior. He is somebody who does not engage in a good behavior.
그러니까 좋은 일을 하지 않는다고 나쁜 사람은 아니에요.
That means just because you don't engage in a good behavior does not make you a bad person.
그래서 내가 부모를 돌보고 싶으면 돌보고 싶지 않으면 돌보지 않으면 되지. 다른 사람에게 그것을 대신 해라고 할 수는 없습니다.
So if you want to take care of your parents and you're willing to do it, then go ahead and do it and you should be commended for it. But that does not give you a right to actually demand that others also engage in the same type of behavior.
물론 권유할 수는 있습니다.
Of course, you can recommend that they do.
그러나 하고 안 하고는 거의 자유입니다.
But it's up to them whether to do it or not.
그래서 이것이 약간의 미워하는 마음, 너 왜 그거 안 하니? 너 나쁜 사람이야. 이런 생각이 있기 때문에 화가 나는 거예요.
And because you have that lingering resentment towards your brother not engaging in that behavior, that leads to anger.
그러니까 좋은 일은 내가 하면 되고 남에게 권유는 할 수 있지만은 그거 하지 않는다고 나쁜 사람은 아니다. 이걸 분명히 아시기 바랍니다.
So what you have to take away is that good deeds are good, if you can do it, if you're willing to do it. But just because others do not engage in the same good deeds does not make them a bad person.
아까 우리가 원주민 마을 장애인 학교를 지었는데 그런 학교를 짓는데 도네이션하는 건 좋은 일이지만은 거기에 참여 안 했다고 나쁜 사람은 아니잖아요.
For example, you just saw that video about building a school for special education kids. And it's a good deed if you actually participated and donated in that effort. But just because you didn't does not make you a bad person.
그러니까 오빠를 미워하지 않으면 화날 일도 없습니다.
So if you let go of that resentment towards your brother, then there's no cause for anger anymore.
그건 오빠의 선택의 자유가 있다 하는 것을 좀 인식하시기 바랍니다.
Because you have to recognize that your brother does have the choice, does have the freedom to choose not to engage in certain behavior, even good ones.
물론 우리 주위의 대부분의 사람들이 다 자식이 부모를 돌보는 그런 좋은 문화를 갖고 있다 보니까 그렇게 하지 않는 사람을 우린 자꾸 나쁘다고 생각하는데 나쁜 사람은 아닙니다.
And of course, we recognize that we are living in a culture, on a social kind of construct in which taking care of your elderly and aging parents who are weakening is considered a normal behavior. And just because we think that, conversely, we judge others who don't engage in that behavior to be a bad person.
또 우리 대다수가 만약에 교회 다닌다 하면 교회 안 다니는 사람 보고 믿음이 없다고 우리가 나쁘게 생각하잖아요. 그럼 교회 안 다닌다고 나쁜 사람 아니잖아요.
But in a similar way, if you think back, if you live in a very heavy Christian community and everybody goes to church, but you decide not to, because that behavior has been normalized, you're considered a outcast, an outlier, a bad person because you don't engage the same behavior. But that doesn't make you one.
내가 화가 나는 이유는 내가 옳다 하는 것이 이렇게 내가 잡고 있기 때문에 그렇습니다.
And the reason you get angry is because you have you're considering yourself to be in the right.
서로 다르다. 옳고 그런 것이 아니라 서로 다를 뿐이다. 관점이 서로 다르다. 이렇게 이해하시면 괜찮을 것 같아요.
And if you could shift that perspective, instead of you being correct or right, you're just different from your brother, and your brother has the right to be different.
더 질문할 게 있어요?
Do you have any follow-up question?
Yeah, I have one question in that one of the ways I'm trying to kind of let the resentment die down is by just not communicating very much with him. But then I feel a little guilty about that. But I was just wondering what you thought of the strategy of not engaging so much with him right now.
대화를 하고 안 하고 내 자유입니다.
You also have the right whether to engage with him or not.
내가 미워하는 마음이 있어서 대화를 안 한다면 내가 마음에 찌꺼기가 남으니까 불편합니다.
But if you're not engaged with them or conversing with them because you have that lingering resentment, it becomes, this little thing that actually constantly grates at you.
그러니까 마음은 대화를 하고 싶고 그러나 오빠가 부모를 돌보지 않으니까 또 대화하기 싫고 그러니까 대화를 해야 된다, 대화는 하기 싫다 이런 두 가지가 갈등을 일으키니까 내가 마음이 불편한 거예요.
Because you're causing your own kind of mental discomfort because, in a way, on one hand, you want to engage with them, but on the other hand, you don't want to engage them because of this resentment. So you're constantly kind of pushing and pulling, creating this contradiction that causes discomfort.
오빠의 문제가 아니라 내 마음에 두 가지가 지금 갈등을 일으키고 있는 거예요.
And that has nothing to do with your brother. It's all about you creating that discomfort yourself by having that contradiction.
이것도 마찬가지로 내가 오빠하고 대화를 하든 안 하든 그것은 나의 자유이기 때문에 죄책감을 가질 필요는 전혀 없습니다.
And similar to before, because it is your freedom to whether you want to engage with anybody or not, including your brother, there's no reason for you to feel guilty.
여기도 형제간에는 대화를 해야 된다 하는 전제가 깔려 있기 때문에 그런데 얄미우니까 대화를 하지 않겠다 그런 모순 때문에 마음이 불편한 거예요.
Because what's underlying this urge to speak with your brother is the assumption that brothers and sisters, siblings should talk to each other. And that construct is kind of driving your need to want to talk to him. At the same time, that resentment is preventing you from reaching out.
그러니까 오빠를 미워하지 않은 것은 잘못된 거예요. 그러나 미워하지 않는다면 대화를 하고 안 하고는 자유로움입니다.
So if you continue feeling resentment towards your brother, that's something you need to resolve. But having said that, separate from that, engaging with your brother or not is totally up to you.
더 있어요?
Thank you.
네.
I appreciate that.